Imagine, you're the director of the world's most powerful intelligence agency, the CIA, and you get a call from a child claiming to have hacked your entire system. October 2015, CIA headquarters, Virginia. John Brennan, the director of the CIA, receives an unexpected call from an unknown number. The caller, to Brennan's surprise, seems to be a child. The child claims to have hacked the entire system of the CIA. To a common person, this could have been laughed off as a prank call. But for John Brennan, it was far from a joke. It was a direct challenge, an unthinkable violation of the CIA's security. The audacity of the situation was staggering. Not only had this child claimed to have hacked the CIA, but they had also managed to reach Brennan on his personal mobile. The very idea of someone knowing his number was alarming enough, let alone the prospect of a security breach of this magnitude. But who were these children? And why had they done this? What could possibly motivate two kids to dance the dance of tripling superpowers? These were questions that would come to haunt the security agency in the days to follow. The child on the line had a simple demand: for America to stop attacks in the Middle East, specifically in Palestine. His phone call was a plea for world peace. It was a demand that would shake the very foundations of the CIA. The shock of the call was immense. The American government and the CIA were thrown into a state of alarm. A child had managed to infiltrate their systems. This was not just a breach of security, it was a blow to their pride, a matter of great shame for the CIA. The call ended, but the shockwaves it sent through the American government and the CIA had just begun. In the aftermath of the startling call, the CIA sprung into action. The possibility of a child hacking their system was not just alarming, but a matter of great shame. This wasn't just a breach of security, it was a slap in the face of the world's most powerful intelligence agency. The very fabric of their reputation was at stake. Immediately, the agency's best cyber sleuths were put on the case. Their task was not only to assess the damage, but also to trace the origin of this audacious hack. The initial investigation was a whirlwind of activity. Analysts pored over data logs while agents cross-checked intelligence reports. As they delved deeper into the labyrinth of codes and algorithms, a stunning revelation surfaced. The audacious call and the hack were traced back to an unassuming town in England, Leicester. But that wasn't the most surprising part. The mastermind behind this was not an enemy state or a terror outfit. It was a teenager, a 15-year-old who called himself Cracker. Cracker, a name that would soon become synonymous with one of the most audacious hacks in history. But who was this audacious teenager? How did he manage to breach the seemingly impenetrable walls of the CIA? These were the questions that kept the investigators up at night. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that this wasn't just a random act of mischief. This was a calculated move, executed with precision. It was a statement, a challenge thrown at the very heart of American security. To understand how and why Cracker hacked the CIA, we need to go back to where it all began, in 2008, in Virginia, USA. A place far removed from the quiet town of Leicester, and yet intimately connected to the story of one of the most audacious hacks in history. In 2008, in Virginia, USA, a boy with a love for video games began a journey that would lead him into the world of hacking. This boy was known by the alias Default. Default was not just any ordinary video game enthusiast, he had a knack for understanding the underlying codes that powered his favorite games. He started by tweaking the programming of online games like Counter-Strike. He customized the rules, enabling him to win games easily. It was like creating cheat codes for real life. The thrill of it was intoxicating. This was Default's first taste of the power that came with hacking, and he was hooked. Default's interest in hacking was not just about winning video games. He was intrigued by the potential to influence and control digital spaces. His curiosity led him to the infamous Anonymous hacking group. Anonymous was making headlines in 2008, hacking major websites to voice their political opinions. Their audacity and skill in using hacking as a form of protest greatly impressed Default. Inspired by Anonymous, Default decided to delve deeper into the world of hacking. His journey took a significant turn when he joined a hacking group called Anonymous Sec. This group had already made a name for themselves by hacking numerous websites, primarily for political reasons. They used the internet as their playground, spreading viruses that allowed them to control systems through encryption. Joining Anonymous Sec was a major step for Default. It was like a rite of passage, marking his transition from a curious video game enthusiast to a real hacker. This was not just about winning games or proving his skills anymore. It was about being part of a movement, using his abilities to make a statement. Default was now part of a hacking group, but his ambitions were far from fulfilled. He was ready to take on something much bigger. He was ready to make his mark, to challenge the world's most powerful intelligence agency, the CIA. And as we'll see, he was just getting started. From hacking small websites to targeting the biggest intelligence agency in the world, Default was ready to make his mark. He had come a long way from cheating in video games to being part of an international hacking group, Anonymous Sec. But the real challenge was yet to come, a challenge that would make history. Default, along with his British accomplice Cracker, set their sights on the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. The audacity of their plan was staggering. They weren't just aiming to hack a website or leak a few documents. They were going after the personal email of John Brennan, the director of the CIA. It was a move that would shock the world and put them in the spotlight. The preparation was meticulous. Default and Cracker spent weeks researching, probing, and testing. They needed to find a weakness, a chink in the CIA's armor, and eventually they found it. A flaw in the security of Brennan's personal email. It was a small oversight, but for Default and Cracker, it was a golden opportunity. They struck swiftly and silently. Within minutes, they were in. They had access to Brennan's personal emails, his contacts, his documents. They even found a letter with sensitive information about the interrogation techniques used by the CIA. It was the hack of the century. The news of the hack sent shockwaves around the world. Two teenagers had managed to breach the defenses of the most powerful intelligence agency in the world. It was a stark reminder of the vulnerability of even the most secure systems and the audacity of those who dare to challenge them. The fallout was immediate and severe. The CIA launched an internal investigation. Heads rolled, security protocols were reviewed, and measures were taken to prevent such a breach from happening again. Two kids had managed to hack the CIA, leaving the world stunned and raising many questions. How did they do it? Why did they do it? And most importantly, what does this mean for the future of cybersecurity? The hack was done. The world was left in shock. But what were the implications of this audacious act? The aftermath was immediate. The CIA, one of the world's most guarded institutions, had been breached by two teenagers. Its reputation was tarnished, its invincibility shattered. The confidence that nations had in America's cybersecurity was shaken to its core. The fallout was far-reaching. The hack sparked a global conversation about cybersecurity. It forced institutions, governments, and individuals to reevaluate their digital defense systems. It highlighted the urgent need for improved cybersecurity measures and the importance of vigilance in the face of ever-evolving digital threats. The impact on the CIA was profound. The hack served as a harsh reminder of their vulnerabilities, prompting an internal overhaul of their security systems. The incident also highlighted the need for better education and awareness about cybersecurity, particularly among the younger generation. Two kids had turned the world of cybersecurity upside down, proving that even the most powerful can be vulnerable. It was a wake-up call for the world.